Deportations take center stage in El Cajon. Details coming up.
Some Claremont residents have serious safety concerns about traffic in the area after a woman was hit and killed. We'll tell you what changes they want to see.
It causes a lot of fear in our community that we serve.
How the president's efforts to freeze federal aid impact certain nonprofits in San Diego.
A local senator proposes a bill to address loopholes in housing laws, including one related to a massive development in Pacific Beach. I'm Shanna Handy working for you on that story coming up.
A Solana Beach speech therapist is getting nationally recognized for her approach to helping kids.
CBS 8 News Live at 6 starts right now.
We begin tonight in the East County, where the city of El Cajon is at the center of a heated debate surrounding enforcement of President Trump's federal immigration policy to deport people living in the U.S. illegally. Good evening, and thank you for joining us. I'm Carlo Cicchetto.
I'm Marcella Lee. The City Council considered the resolution in front of a packed City Council meeting. CBS 8's Kirsten Holmes was there and joins us live now. Kirsten, emotions ran high in the meeting.
Very high. 10 minutes before this meeting even got started at 3 o'clock, there was a packed house in the City Council chamber behind me, and more than 20 people were waiting outside just to have their voices heard. At the center of this debate is how, or even if, the city of El Cajon should cooperate or enforce President Trump's federal immigration policy. And tensions ran high today in this city council meeting as different speakers took to the podium to address Mayor Bill Wells and the city council. You could hear people cheering, clapping, or even booing. At issue is El Cajon's cooperation with President Trump's federal immigration policy that calls for mass deportation of people living in the United States illegally. In December, the city of El Cajon sent a letter to California Attorney General Rob Bonta asking for clarification on SB 54. That's a California Senate bill that's also known as the California Values Act that says, as a state law, California prevents local and state law enforcement from using their resources to assist with federal immigration enforcement. It was adopted in 2017 during the Biden administration. AG Bonta responded to that letter by defining SB 54 and providing guidance for how to comply with the state law today.
Got two different entities, both are higher level government than you, saying exactly the opposite things about what's legal. In my mind, it's clear the federal government has supremacy over the state government, but apparently the state of California doesn't believe that. But nevertheless, it puts us in a situation where you've got the federal government saying, if you don't cooperate, we're going to prosecute you. You've got the state government saying, if you do cooperate, we're going to prosecute you. So we're kind of in the middle.
My friends are scared to come. Kids are afraid to go to school. We're afraid to go buy food. It's really hurting our community economically wise, and it's considered racial profiling, however you want to see it. It's racial profiling, and I'm against it because I'm a Mexican American that was born here, and I have dealt with racial profiling, and I will not allow that in my community again. We have worked so hard as a community to remove that hate from here. I am not bringing it back in here.
Okay, so in short, the resolution before the city council today considered two options. One was waiting to take action until the federal and state government resolve their inconsistencies. Or the second item was to adopt a resolution asking for clarification of the inconsistencies, declare the city's intent to ensure public safety, and comply with federal immigration policy as much as SB 54 allows, while removing violent criminals from our community. More than 80 people signed up to comment in today's public hearing. At 5:30, they were just halfway through those comments, and they have more than 40 speakers left to go. Now, you can see that full resolution, the statement to the Attorney General and his response on our website, CBS8.com. Reporting for CBS 8, I'm Kirsten Holmes. Back to you.
Thanks, Kirsten. New video tonight of Marines working to reinforce the border wall in San Ysidro. The Defense Department released these clips of Marines welding and rolling out concertina wire. 500 Marines from Camp Pendleton are among the 1,500 troops the Pentagon deployed to the southern border last week. They will primarily work on constructing barriers and providing air support for Border Patrol operations.
New tonight, safety concerns are rising in a Claremont neighborhood after a woman was hit and killed this month.
CBS 8's Alex Lai joins us live from Claremont with a look at the traffic issues worrying people who live in the area. Alex, what are they saying?
Well, Carlo and Marcella, so many people in this neighborhood have told us that cars will speed down Appleton Street trying to get onto Genesee right here. They're saying that things such as speed bumps, a roundabout, and even more traffic stops would be helpful. There's a new fear for some Claremont residents getting hit by a speeding car. Earlier this month, a woman was hit and killed by a truck near the intersection of Genesee Avenue and Mount Etna Drive. Now, more than ever, Claremont residents are looking both ways before crossing the street.
I've just really seen it become more dangerous for the feeder streets that go onto Genesee.
Lori Saldana is a longtime political activist and a lifelong Claremont resident. She says over the years, cars have picked up the pace.
People are in a hurry. People, especially here along Appleton, they're trying to get to Genesee Avenue.
She says she's seen a number of accidents caused by speeding cars in her neighborhood.
I've been in a marked intersection at a four-way stop and had a car just roll through the intersection when I was walking across the street.
The reason, Saldana thinks ADUs and new developments are adding to the traffic. Plus, she says people are taking a shortcut to Genesee through the neighborhood and may speed up to catch the light.
For like Google Maps and everything, people would take Genesee and then Claremont, but I think with Google Maps, they just do the quicker way.
Residents are asking for a change before someone else gets hit.
That instead of traffic flow, maybe you need to start looking at traffic calming.
Saldana is advocating for dangerous intersections to have four-way stops or a roundabout. She's also asking for more patrol cars in the area. The district council member's office says a traffic study is currently being conducted on Appleton to see what improvements can be made.
I think that if they focus just on this perimeter around Genesee, they'd probably be able to put a good dent in the amount of speeding that's going on.
And Saldana is bringing these concerns to the city council meeting tomorrow and is encouraging other residents to join her. We reached out to the city of San Diego and they said they are also conducting research into the traffic issues around the neighborhood that community members have brought to their attention. Reporting live from Claremont, I'm Alex Lai for CBS 8.
Tonight, firefighters are making progress on the Border 2 fire with help from the recent rain. As of the last update we got just minutes ago, it is now at 88% containment. This fire has burned 6,600 acres, but it has not grown in size since Saturday, so that is great news. First responders don't expect this fire to spread, but expect evacuation orders to remain in place until it is fully under control. There have been no reports of injuries or structure damage. The cause of the fire is under investigation. Today, the San Diego County Board of Supervisors unanimously voted in favor of a plan to prepare for a major wildfire. This includes finding more ways to clear brush in the county and the purchase of a new helicopter. During today's meeting, everyone kept pointing to the wildfires up in Los Angeles to say, let's do everything we can to make sure that doesn't happen here. There was also a lot of talk about recent fires we've had in our area and the way evacuation routes are communicated.
The question I got from a bunch of constituents was, how are we supposed to know which route to take to evacuate? What's the evacuation route? They knew they needed to evacuate. They didn't know what route to take. So my question is, how are they supposed to know what route to take?
We can't possibly dictate which route every individual and every vehicle should take. When they have the Genesis Protect app and they open up the app and look at the fire map that's available, essentially go where the fire's not. That sounds really overly simplistic. But that's the best method.
Emergency officials do urge you to download that Genesis Protect app now so it's on your phone. There were also questions about what started some of these recent fires and if they were started at homeless encampments. CAL FIRE says they are all still under investigation.
Cleanup efforts are taking shape in the burn area of the Palisades fire.
As Tina Patel shows us, people are starting to return now that the final evacuation orders have been lifted.
There are so many different agencies and groups helping with the cleanup effort. Behind me, there is the California Conservation Corps. They're in hazardous material uniforms trying to keep these streets clean because residents are expected to be returning today. We haven't seen too many this morning. That may be because they need to still get access cards so they'll be let through the checkpoints. Yesterday, we did see some people returning to survey the damage themselves 3 weeks after they were forced to evacuate. They're hoping they can salvage some personal items or reunite with neighbors, but they're also realizing how challenging it's going to be to rebuild individual homes and restore whole neighborhoods. Our Pat Harvey was out here trying to get answers from city leaders about how the process will work and why it's taken so long to get to this point. One homeowner told us he was frustrated, but seeing how much was lost has shifted his perspective.
I saw when, the president came and had a little bit of a standoff with Karen Bass, and, you can understand both. Obviously, what he's saying, we all feel. We want to get in to see our house. We need closure. But it also has to be safe. I mean, these are buildings, there's stuff about to collapse. What happens if they let us in officially too early and something falls on somebody, they die? Then who's trouble?
We've seen employees from many different city and county agencies out here this morning. They say they will do whatever they can to help residents as they're returning. They also want residents to know that there are still some safety concerns. There's no power in these neighborhoods. There's no services. And there are still concerns about hazardous materials. So people who are returning should try to limit their time here if they can.
We have to rebuild that sense of spirit and pride in the region and connect the dots between cities that have been impacted, communities that have been devastated, and the larger LA County and region.
Governor Gavin Newsom unveiled a new public-private initiative to raise money to help rebuild areas of Los Angeles devastated by the recent wildfires. Newsom tapped Dodgers chairman Mark Walter, basketball legend Magic Johnson, and LA Olympic chairman Casey Wasserman to lead the philanthropic effort called LA Rises. $100 million in seed money has already been committed.
State Senator Scott Wiener is proposing a new bill that would allow insurance companies to sue oil companies for wildfire costs.
Companies, they're going to have, if this bill passes, they're going to have to take a very hard look at seeking compensation from the oil companies.
The bill argues climate change fueled by fossil fuels is making wildfires worse. Republicans and oil industry leaders oppose the measure, saying it ignores other crucial factors like forest management. If passed, legal experts say the battle will likely end up at the Supreme Court. A new state bill looks to address concerns over a controversial project in Pacific Beach.
Why some say the measure doesn't go far enough still ahead. Plus, the fears from San Diego nonprofits that get federal funding as the president fights to freeze all government aid.
Welcome to the Enchanted Treehouse. I'm Abby Black. A local speech therapist is getting nationally recognized for her approach to helping kids.
We saw some passing clouds out there earlier today. They looked a little ominous at times. Now we are still seeing some cloud cover out there. We're still holding on to a slight chance we could see some additional moisture in the form of mountain snow as well as a few light showers. All those details are after the break.